Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. Microphone out of the way, please. It is Wednesday. It is October 15th, Hump Day. And guess what? There is no man here today. Jolene is busy taking care of duties, so I am flying solo from the Prepared Mind studios. If you have a question, if you have a comment, if you have a thought, a prediction, a joke, get it in the comments section. We've got X, thepreparedmind.club, subscribestar.com. You are all here live right now in the comments, please. Oh, all caps, please. And I just realized I'm not set up to take any questions from X. Shit. I'm not set up for it, folks. Not ready. Don't know how to do it. Freaking man does this. Jolene does this. I'm flying solo, the seat of our pants, but we're going to have a lot of fun. So it'll be, I guess it'll just be the other channels live. I tell you, folks, we got a great show. Get your questions in the comments. Do all caps. Makes it so much easier for me if you want to get on the screen. But I tell you what, let's start this off. Let's kick it off. Pow! With this breaking top story. Surprise. A Clinton federal judge has decided to stop, impede, interfere with the Trump administration from doing what he is authorized to do as president of the United States. He says during the Schumer shutdown, during the Democrat destruction. Actually, I don't know if you've noticed, but I haven't had any problems in life since the federal government is shut down. Not a problem one. The stoplights work. The gas pumps work. Hey, the lights in the studio work. I can cook food. I can go pee in the toilet. I can flush it. It all works. How a fucking about that? Anyways, this federal judge says Trump cannot fire federal workers during the shutdown. Unbelievable. Trump, why even listen to them? Okay. This right here, my friends, this is the rule book. It's called the U.S. Constitution. I remember this ruling from way back. I think it was, very early in the American Republic. The Supreme Court ruled that any law that is passed that doesn't fall in line with the Constitution is on its face null and void. Anything that is repugnant to the Constitution is null and void, and there is no compelling anyone to obey that, meaning me and you as citizens, and also the government. So Trump should just say, you know what? Fuck you is what he should be saying to these clowns. Literally, fuck you people. You have no say. I am the president. You are interfering with official duty. And if you try it again, if you even attempt to enforce your judicial nonsense, we will send the FBI down there and we will put you in cuffs for obstruction of justice, interfering in official government duties, and malfeasance of office. Why is it? Why is it that I'm the only one and you guys are the only ones? Why is it that only we are willing to go and arrest people? Tell them to fuck off. Unbelievable. And speaking of stopping the insanity, that's what this should be. Stop the Insanity Wednesday. There's so many names we can come up with. Los Angeles County has declared a state of emergency. Has there been an earthquake? No. Is there another fire? No. Has China invaded the West Coast? No. The state of emergency is because Immigrations and Customs Enforcement is doing raids and arrests. I never could imagine, in my wildest, retardedest SHTF dreams, a world where law and order efforts are seen as causing an emergency situation. So why is there a state of emergency? Because it's effective, because it's working, and the communist Democrats can't have success under the Constitution and by Trump and law enforcement. That's what this is about. They do not like it. They don't like it. So in this country, the president's being stopped from engaging in his duties. Law enforcement that is performing as it is supposed to, as it's directed to, as the Constitution provides, they're being stopped. But you want an example of how things should be run? You want an example? I'll give you an example. Over in Ukraine, Zelensky does not like anyone opposing him, having a different opinion than him, speaking aloud. So he has now stripped the mayor of Odessa, a major city on the Black Sea in southern Ukraine, stripped him of his citizenship. This coming from I'm going to use this term very loosely. This leader of Ukraine is illegitimate. He canceled the elections, so he is sitting and holding office and power, and the people have not authorized him to be there. But he, in this neutered sense, authoritatively, has decided he can go to someone else who is an elected official operating within their jurisdiction, within their authority, and he can actually strip someone of their citizenship. I find it fascinating that a communist, Zionist fruitcake like Zelensky would take such actions. Isn't he a super nice guy? Isn't he a sterling example of political perfection? Completely rhetorical, completely satirical. Hardly, right? He's a Hitler-esque asshole, in my opinion. And hey, I think the rest of the world knows it. Yet they continue to support this little fucking tyrant. He would get along great in America, no? It's my understanding that the little fruitcake has stolen our money in America and bought palatial mansions around the world. I know that one of them's in Italy, several others, but I think also in the state of Florida. If he can survive his war, if he can survive from being assassinated by his own supporters when he fails, I wonder if he's going to try coming to Florida. It's going to have to be in some totally fucking homosexual neighborhood in a fucked up liberal city like maybe Miami or Fort Lauderdale, in an area where he thinks he's protected. I really hope people sue the shit out of him. Oh, they'll find a reason, folks. Shit, if you can sue Alex Jones for saying, you know what? We found out and discovered all kinds of inconsistencies at Sandy hoax, and it's a hoax. If people who were upset can sue Alex Jones for $1.4 billion, I think we, the people of Florida, can feel upset. I'm very upset. I think we could feel upset and sue him, make him liquidate his assets. And I won't be surprised, though, he never makes it here, and that some Ukrainian is going to be hired to liquidate Zelensky's ass completely. Now, I don't know about you, but I know about you. I don't know about you guys, but I know about you guys. You've had enough of this shit, right? Well, a big shot ex-creator, right? Social media guy. Big shot. Got I don't know, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of followers. I don't really look and check. I just see the name a lot. Eagleman. I don't know if it was Hunter or Gunther. I don't fucking know. Anyways, he just wrote this. MSDNC. I think he meant NBC, but he called it MSDNC, right? Like Democrat National Committee. They just admitted insurrections are happening daily across the country against immigrations and customs enforcement officers. There is no denying the simple fact that there is a coordinated, funded, violent, far-left militant group rebelling across the country. Invoke the Insurrection Act, says Mr. Eagleman. I want to ask you guys this honestly. Is it obvious now or not? Is it obvious that there is a coordinated, funded, violent, the far left militant group is Antifa, rebelling across the country? Is it obvious yet? To me, it is completely obvious. Completely obvious. Okay, once again, Mr. Ooman is out of the house. He is actually top secret. He's heading to Florida right now. He's heading down here. There's going to be a gathering this weekend. And I'll tell you guys more about it tomorrow. I'll tell you more about it tomorrow. I don't mean to like throw the fish hook out there and, but that's just what's going on. What a day in the world, folks. What a day. Yes, there is an insurrection happening now. It is happening with Antifa and any of their little BLM friends, any of their little LGBT pedophile friends, any of their little furry friends. These are the footpads, the soldiers of the Democrat Party that have been activated. They have not activated the drug cartels, but Trump today is now revoking passport admission visas for Mexican politicians because Mexican politicians support and are being supported by the Sinaloa drug cartel. And their president, Hook Nose Scheinbaum, the nose, Hook Nose Scheinbaum is being protected by them and funded by them, and she'll protect them. So you know what? Sorry, Mexico, go fuck yourselves. Right? In fact, Mexico is kicking illegals out of their country and sending them over the border on the south side to Guatemala. Oh, I thought it was racist. I thought borders and fences are racist. Wow. Are you prepared? Do you have food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense? Are you prepared for where this is heading? Do you see it? Insurrection. Obvious or not? So you have Antifa and these other trans groups. And then you have the political class involved in the insurrection. Whether you're talking about mayors like Mayor Dumbass of Los Angeles or the dumbass in Boston, BJ Prickster's little guy, BJ Johnson in Chicago, a literal fucking communist. New York City is trying to elect a Muslim communist. There's one level of government. Next layer up, state. Ah, yes. Gavin, I don't know my ass from a hole in the ground, Newsom, and Jabba the Prickster in Illinois, Hackle in New York State, and then up in, Michigan, you got Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Over in Oregon, you've got Governor Kotex. Fucking retards, one and all, engaged in interfering in performing, they're interfering with ICE, and they're interfering with all law enforcement, and they're absolutely refusing, which is a violation of their oaths and their duty, which puts Trump in a position where he can declare an emergency, martial law, and bring in federal troops to fix the fucking problem. It's right there. It's all in there under the Insurrection Act. Now, I want to bring it down to a very personal level. Remember Big Balls? The young blonde kid who worked for the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, under Elon Musk. He jumped in to save his girlfriend from being beaten, if not raped and murdered, or both, by a gang of youthful fucking scumbags in Washington, D.C. So Edward Corestein, big balls, got the ever-loving shit beat out of him as he fought to protect his girl. He white knighted up like a little white knight, and I saw the picture of him. He's fucking bleeding everywhere, blood all over his clothes, sitting on the ground, absolutely fucking crushed and defeated. Right? That kind of look. So the police finally caught 2 of the fucking people who were involved in this. They get arrested. They go to jail. They go to court. And guess what the fucking judge did? You bad Utes. They get a slap on the wrist. They avoid jail time because an anti-American, racist judge gave him probation. Fucking Big Balls was not brutally assaulted, folks. In my opinion, it was attempted murder. Right? You saw his face, the blood, the fucking damage done to him. Too many times, folks, in the last several months, too many times, cameras have captured the beatings on whites by entire gangs who beat, then kick, and then stomp on people's heads and their faces. And this type of action by these racist scum, and then being protected by the racist judicial decisions of liberal judges, whether they're black or white, doesn't matter. The judges are letting them go. And it's driving a fucking wedge between Americans and between races. Now, for me personally, I see every day, I work with, I work around, and I see in public amazing people of all races. But I'm going to tell you this. The moment that I see a gang of scum, and gang of scum means 2 or more people who look like fucking derelicts and who are giving me the stink eye. The moment I see that, I'm going to be putting my hand to my everyday carry. I'm not going to brandish my weapon. Don't do anything illegal or harmful. But I will put my hand on it and be ready to dispense my self-defense techniques one at a time. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to allow myself to become the next fucking victim. You know, while one person films, the other 5 just beating the ever-loving fuck out of me. Not going to happen. More Americans are doing that. In fact, I watched several videos today. Mr. Skylight and others have sent me videos of, well, people who were fucking around and finding out. Several people screwing with people in their cars. The person gets away finally from the assault by liberal, and they actually back up and then fucking drive and smash into them. People have had enough of this. Now, using your car as a weapon, I don't know if they're blocking you and it's self-defense, I don't have a problem with it. The state of Florida does not have a problem with it. They might have a problem with you turning into them instead of escaping. You know, I'm not stupid, but these people, one of them that I saw, they'd had enough of this shit. And they fucking ran right into someone. Another one, the fat bitch wouldn't get out of the way, and she got fucking bumped. And people have had enough. They're using what weapons, what tools, whatever they need to protect themselves. It is getting that crazy, folks. Are you prepared? Now, speaking of ramming with vehicles, 2, not 1, but 2 illegal aliens rammed a border patrol. They rammed into border patrol during violence between border patrol and rioters in Chicago. You know, the ICE agents, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents, they need to consider heavy equipment to protect themselves during these riots. They need to have big vehicles behind them, vans, trucks, SUVs, whatever, so someone can't drive up behind them and run their asses over. And ICE also needs to consider that to protect themselves, they need to realize that deadly force needs to be deployed against attempted murder, because that's what I see this as. Running over a cop intentionally, whether local, state, federal, doesn't matter. Intentionally running them over is attempted murder. I need everyone to understand, and this is just my opinion, but understand my opinion. This is a war that the communist fucks are fighting, while law enforcement continues to live in la land, in my opinion. They're pretending that the people they're at war with are actually just rowdy protesters, mostly peaceful. ICE and all federal agents, including state and local law enforcement, they better fucking learn, or they're going to die at the hands of these communist infiltrators. They've said they want to kill officers. They have stated it again and again. They're being allowed to do it by lawyers and judges. They're being encouraged by politicians and judges. And they're being funded by the likes of, Tom Hanks, George Clooney. Both those guys, I guess, have been exposed as funding directly Antifa. And Antifa are, yes, terrorists. Terrorists don't punch you because they love you. They punch, kick, fight, shoot, bomb, run you over, set you on fire, try and burn your fucking eyes out as a means of warfare. Are you prepared? You need to be. You need to be. Good golly, folks. Now, let's take a look overseas at what pro-Hamas, pro-Palestinian mentality is doing. Over in Gaza, guess what is happening? Guess what's being reported, I should say. Well, it's being reported that Hamas terrorists, pro-Hamas, pro-Palestinian types, they are executing citizens of Gaza. They are turning on the people that they claim that they're there to protect from the Israelis. And now apparently Hamas is killing Gazans. Israel blows them up, shoots them, snipes them, runs them over. And now Hamas is killing them. Now, I can't say that the people who are brutally executing people in Gaza, I can't say that they're not IDF dressed as Hamas, but I wouldn't put that past them. But my opinion is, and I've stated this many times, that both Israel and the Muslim world in the Middle East need to be abandoned because they're morons, and leave them to fix and solve their own fucking problems. I say we sanction the shit out of them, ignore their constant "we're victims" mentality. That bullshit. They always scream at the United States of America and to Europe, "Oh, we're all victims." They're victims of their own ignorance, stupidity, and barbarous fucking mentality. And I'm talking about the Israelis. How many times have the people who live in Israel, who practice the religion and call themselves Jews, how many countries have been kicked out of over the last 10 centuries? 109. 109 times they've been kicked out. By the way, Hitler told them to leave Germany. Many did. 109 times. That's 10 times every century, and then some, that they have been kicked out of European nations. Not murdered, not holocausted. Kicked out. Like, you people get out. Why? Why? Because they're good? Because they're nice? Because they're moral? Or do you think they probably did something a little wrong to piss the people off, to where the king or queen finally said, "Get the fuck out of here"? Now, with respect to Muslims, who have been nothing but a fucking scourge on this planet for the last 1,000 years, They've been kicked out of Europe also, but they don't just come in and live nicely and are assholes. They invade as an army, literally. They got their asses kicked, cleaned the fuck out of southern France by Charlemagne, pushed out of Spain, and pushed out of Portugal and defeated. That's the Western Front. And then on the eastern side, they came through Turkey and invaded through Transylvania. Oh, yeah. There's a guy named Vlad the Impaler there. Vlad, who is now the... his nickname, Vlad the Impaler, is the foundation for the story of Dracula, Vlad Dracul, right? Because he would literally impale them on spikes. They did not make it through Transylvania. The Muslims tried coming through Hungary, Romania, and into Vienna. They got stomped there and driven back. So both peoples, Muslims and the people who were the Jews, who are now the Israelis, have been kicked out of Europe multiple times. I say leave them in the Middle East and just leave them to their own devices, because I'm sick of their shit. I am sick of their shit. I'm also sick of Nancy fucking Pelosi. That bitch lost it today. She screamed, "Shut up!" Why? Why did Nancy Pelosi scream, "Shut up"? Isn't she an old, nice, sweet granny type? The answer is no. Sorry. No, she's not. Before I continue on this story about 90 Proof Nancy, questions, comments down below in all caps so I can find them easily, quickly when we get to the second half of the show. But Nancy Pelosi screams and points her dirty little crooked sausage. Yeah. Pointed that at a reporter. A reporter. What do reporters do with politicians, folks? And public figures, even celebrities? They ask questions. They want a statement. Miss Pelosi, 90 Proof Nancy, I have a question for you. Right? They try that shit. Well, what the reporter asked is why Nancy refused to call the National Guard on January 6th. Fair question. Actually, Trump tried getting the National Guard and Nancy refused. Well, her screaming, losing her shit, pointing at a reporter, "Rah!" Right? That's behavior indicative of a guilty politician, someone who has done something very wrong. 90 Proof Nancy has been investigated, folks. The evidence is clear. The footage from the cameras, the admission by the FBI they were in the crowd, her refusal to bring in National Guard, her admission of what was done, her daughter talking about it even. The investigation is done. The evidence is in hand. What we need, what America needs, is an attorney general and a Department of Justice with backbone. With the backbone to go public and explain why they've arrested that sour, nasty old bitch. They need to go public with that after, and I mean after, they arrest her. Don't warn her. Don't say, "We're thinking about it." No, you arrest her first. Handcuff the old nasty bitch. But don't worry. She's an old lady. No. On January 6th, there were old ladies and old men in Washington, D.C. And the FBI went out and arrested every last single fucking one of them. Age didn't matter. Arrest that old bitch. And after arresting her for being the ringleader of an incredible false flag, this obscene lie to America, this travesty of fucking justice, by arresting Americans and prosecuting them for nothing and holding them in jail for years over nothing. She needs to be held accountable for it. Now, having understood that, you can see why Nancy would lose her shit. by being asked about it at this time. Because yes, my friends, the investigation has been done. We just need the arrests to happen. All right, folks, let's do this. Let's get into the inner circle. I want to go look at your questions. We're going to find something that you guys want to talk about. And we're back. Oh, please share the video highlights, folks. This is going to be a good one. I'm going through everything. Everyone, there we go. Big Dan the man is here. Oh, great. Dan asks, all right, let's put it up here. What happened to the Monday morning show? You have too many scotch drinks on the zoo? Well, Dan, the answer is yes. It didn't kill me, but it definitely put a dent in my armor. Some days, man, it's tough. Some days are tough. But Monday was Columbus Day also. I had that day off of work. And so the scotches act as a mild sedative. And so I slept in a little and got some recovery time in, right? That's exactly what happened. Yeah, I had a few. After the show, I had a few more. Guilty as charged. Guilty as charged. They're just too delicious sometimes, especially that 18 year. Anyways, I always appreciate your great support, Dan, and your comments, your wit, your charm, and in all ways how you support the channel and then interact with everyone out there. Thank you very much, sir. And I try. I swear I try. We got Mr. Diving Frog checking in. All right. He says, John, can we get a prepared mind bobblehead, a bulldog with a machine gun? I've never had that kind of a request in the past. I got to tell you, Mr. Diving Frog, that is incredible. But that would be an interesting one. I you know what, to get that, I would probably have to go work with a company in Taiwan. China. Sorry. Jolene has been in charge of merchandising, and on the old Prepared Mind channel before YouTube killed it, but the channel where we had 82,000 subscribers, and I always told everyone, go to the backup channel, 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 and go to the backup channel. Subscribe there. So that if one channel gets killed, we have the other one as a backup. So I think 6,000 of you signed up on the backup channel. And that means, doing some math, the other 76,000 people never bothered and thought I disappeared off the face of the planet. Anyways, we have merchandising. We had shirts. We have cups. But I kind of like the idea of a bobblehead. Bulldog with a machine gun. It would have to be an American machine gun, not an AK. And Diving Frog says, don't forget the blonde high and tight on the dog. All right, so I see what's going on here, right? I need to have a blonde high and tight flat top on a dog. I guess that would be pretty cool. Let's see if we can get Jolene to take a look at that. And then I don't know why you put this on here. Guts. Miami, John. Yes, Miami. Okay, I know it. That must be in reference to a liberal hotspot in Florida where there are not many liberal strongholds. Anyways, thank you, Diving Frog. And Jolene can do that, I think. She can look into that. I don't know how easy that would be, because it wouldn't just be, hey, get a bobblehead. You know, you'd have to be dressed like a Marine and a dog with a haircut. But maybe it's possible. Shit, we'll have to look into that. Dan does write in and says, hey, I'm still at work. We'll watch the show later on West Coast time. I appreciate that, Dan. In fact, there's a lot of people who can't be here live. I get it. I know. I start the show at 4:30 Eastern time. Hell, on the West Coast, that's 1:30. You know, I get it. It's tough. But this is the one time slot that I can get to do the afternoon show. And so that's how that works. Now, we got Robin G checking in. And she writes, just watched Tim Pool on YouTube. Tim Pool is the young, is he a millennial or is he a Gen Z? I don't know what he is, but he's kind of, he's not hardcore in the sense that I am. He likes to ask questions. He's inquisitive. He's got young people's perspective. He doesn't quite have the 40 fucking years of adult life that I've dealt with, and many of you have dealt with that and a lot more. But he's learning. He's coming along the same way. Well, Benny Johnson came along the same way. Steven Crowder came along the same way. Charlie Kirk came. I mean, Charlie was in his 30s, his early 30s. Brilliant dude. Great speaker. Awesome technique at debating, I've got to say. But yeah, Tim Pool is interesting. He says, Robin G says of Tim Pool's show, they were debating the fact that we are in a pre-Civil War, aka bleeding Kansas conflict. All this fighting with Antifa, BLM, protesters, etc., it must be eradicated or else. This is a superb comment. Now, the fact that Tim Pool was discussing it and debating it, the fact that, well, it's not civil war. It's not partisan war, but it's kind of it's warming up to it. And I think that is fantastic. You're saying that it has to be eradicated or else. Now, by eradication, I'm going to tell you what I think eradication means. There's an ICE facility. You tell all protesters, you come in here and you use any level of violence. You threaten any level of violence. You bring anything that could be used as a weapon and you're talking violence, they should be instantly arrested. Now, I understand people need to protest. So they say, hey, look, you have to stay this many feet away, because this is it's a prison facility. It's holding criminal illegal aliens. We have officers that come in and go out of the facility. Many drive, some walk. You interfere with that. It's more than just obstructing justice, interfering with an investigation, interfering with police action. It is an act of terrorism at this point. Arrest them. Anywhere they run into, and I don't mean with the car, but it would include cars, anywhere these people, these fucking turds are, that they start to cause trouble, you don't arrest one. You don't arrest just the ones who are being violent. You see, there is a mob mentality. This goes from being a protest at that point. The moment one of these motherfuckers gets violent, it is no longer a protest. It is now mayhem. And it is now a crowd, a gang, a body of violence. If you're going to be in a protest. If you think that they're going to get violent, you leave. You turn around and walk away. But if anyone continues to stand there while violence is going on, that is intent to support, it is intent to be involved, and it is intent, right, to be a terrorist. Arrest them all. Eradicate the problem. Whether it's in, well, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Seattle, Portland, Chicago, New York, anywhere. You arrest not one, but all of them. You charge them with fucking terrorism. Terrorism is a felony. Terrorism is as far as I'm concerned, it's a capital fucking offense, meaning death penalty. As a terrorist, I also think that they should be charged and tried in a military tribunal because they're no longer acting as an American who just happened to get violent. You're now acting as a quasi pseudo paramilitary organization attempting to overthrow legitimate government function. And remember, terrorism, my friends, is either threatening or using force. So using force or threatening to use force in an effort to change political body, political decision, anything. You're attempting to do that to people or government. You're done. You're fucking done. Now we get to the last words. Or else. If this is not stopped, if this is not eradicated, if the crimes are not treated for what they are, terrorism, this is my opinion, we are going to have Mad Max SHTF in many cities across this country, just like in 2020. Every last one of those motherfuckers should have been arrested and tried, held in a military prison or compound, and tried as enemy combatants within the United States of America. Looters should have been shot on sight. Looters should have been shot on sight. Anyone brandishing a weapon while engaged in a protest, anyone brandishing any weapon in the presence of what is known as mayhem, chaos, that's fucking attempted murder. Throwing bottles that are hard, throwing rocks that are hard, that's not protesting. That is attempted murder. Trying to use lasers to burn out people's eyes, throwing fireworks, which are explosive, which are in that condition being used as an active violent agent against officers. That's attempted murder. Anyone with half a fucking brain could turn those, not just as explosives, which cause damage to the eyes and damage to the ears, as well as concussive shock. They could be modified enough to become deadly if they weren't already deadly enough. I mean, less than lethal weapons are still fucking lethal weapons. They should have been tried, but they let them get away with it in 2020. And I'm pissed that Trump didn't fucking stand up and do anything. Should have been done. And if they don't do it this time, what are the Democrats promising? That's right, fat ass Jabba Prickster, who wants to be president, by the way. Governor of Illinois says that when Democrats are back in power, they're coming after all of us. They are coming after all of us. You, me, us, everybody. Oh, he was speaking specifically about federal agents. They're going to get their names and they're going to prosecute them. You know what that means? They're going to charge them with crimes, federal crimes. Acting within the scope of the law and the Constitution, providing for protection for the people of the United States of America against fucking criminals is a crime. Well, in a world where transgenderism means, oh, everything's fine, right? Everything's fine. Yeah, I cut my dick off. I'm normal. Do what I say. Believe me. Listen to me. That's their world where I identify as a woman. I identify as a fucking fire hydrant. I identify as a giraffe. And you have to believe them? Right? That world. That's the world they fucking live in. Oh, by the way, the transgender trend is dying on the vine. College students across the fruited plains are dumping, ditching, and eradicating their trans and non-binary identities, right? They're dumping it, right? Because these fucking idiot Zoomers, who are liberals, by the way, the liberal fucking Zoomers, they're still retarded, fully. They're not giving up their retardation. They can't fix that. They're just not running around pushing it on people. I'm trans. I'm non-binary. There's more than two genders, right? They're still fully retarded. But they've now realized, because you're strong, they've realized that no one gives a shit about them. And we don't have to accept their insanity. So they're going to go back under their little rocks until they have a new social scam to try and shove down our throats. And folks, yeah, they are fully retarded. But don't worry, here's a shocker. Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, another full retard, has compared black people to disabled people during her arguments about race-based voting districts. Every single black American should be, by this kind of thinking, insulted, disgusted, and outraged at her statements. I'm a white guy. In case anyone didn't notice, I'm white. I'm fucking disgusted. I'm insulted, and I'm outraged. Ketanji, who can't define what a woman is a DEI court justice. She's a diversity, equity, and inclusion Supreme Court justice, and she is now competing for being the most retarded with AOC and Jasmine Eyelash's Crockett Hoe. All right. Anyways, this needs to be done, or they're going to continue to think it's okay to attack cops. Folks, if they're willing to attack cops, law enforcement, what do you think they're going to be willing to do to you? Now, in Florida, you try and stop me in my truck, my car, my vehicle, whatever, I'm going to run your fucking ass over, because I see you, people who are stopping traffic, as a threat to my fucking life. And it's allowed. If my life is threatened, I can use my car as an escape vehicle. And if you try stopping me and getting in the way, you're impeding me with the effort to kill me. In Florida and all other states, guess what? I can use my everyday carry, my 45 ACP that I carry every fucking day. I can use that to defend myself and others who are being threatened by these types of fuckers. I am not restricted by anything other than my right to self-preservation. Now, that doesn't mean I can go out and kill people. No, of course not. And I don't want anyone to do that. But people need to realize, if they don't stop this, if they don't eradicate it, Robin G is correct. This is what we're going to face on the streets. Literally what we're going to face on the streets. Why did Amazon send me an email in Spanish? What the fuck is wrong with them? Just wow. Okay, Badass Diving Frog is continuing to talk about the bobblehead doll that he wants to see. A bulldog with a blonde, high and tight, I added flat top, and he wants UMC blazed across the chest. I wouldn't have it any other way, man. Camouflage pants, OD green shirt with the yellow USMC logo. Probably bulging biceps. Right? And then, of course, a couple of tattoos. I don't have any tattoos, but the dog could have it. Anyways, thank you, Mr. Diving Frog. Let's see. What else do we want to talk about over here? Mr. Ooman is lurking and driving. Oh, yeah. How about that, Mr. Ooman? He's heading to Florida, my friends. Something big is about to happen. All right. These fucking people. I've got more things I want to talk to you about, but we're going to go with this. Mikey G says, you loot, we shoot. Now, I am not going to tell anyone to do that. What I'm going to tell you is, in times past, in history past, like during the race riots of the 1960s, if you were looting, you were shot on sight. Shot on sight. Now, before you do any protection of the general public in instances of looting, please consult local, county, state laws regarding such actions. Can you do a citizen's arrest? You know what? May not be a bad idea to consult them to find out what you can and cannot do. Yes, be very careful, folks. Do not just shoot people. Make sure you understand the rules regarding and what is it that citizens can do to help preserve and protect law and order. Village Idiot writes, PTSD triggers with fuses. I don't know what that's in reference to, brother, but I do like the your icon. I've always got a good kick at that one. Anyways, PTSD, it's real. So I just don't know what you mean by that. Let's continue if we shall. Let's see. Well, Mikey G says, true, Dad. Okay. Robin G says, I think I have PTSD. They sure trigger me. I think we must be talking about these leftists. Robin G writes that I'm getting lots of Spanish YouTube ads as well. Yeah. Oh, and Village Idiot ads. And I presume this is for El Bobbleheado doll, dog with a high and tight, flat top, camouflage pants, green shirt, USMC, also gets a cigar. That makes sense. And hey, we got some Facebook here. And Joshua Kraus writes, Operation Steel Harbor, Coast Guard finds nukes. Okay, Joshua, if you would, find some way to get a link to that story. That sounds kind of important because I don't see it here in my news feeds. I would think something like that would get to me. Wow. All right. Well, we've got just a few minutes left. I'm out of all caps stuff, so I'm going to cover a couple more items. In Illinois, in the Chicago area, a Cook County judge. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Oh, he's the chief judge. Oh, look out. A chief judge. That's right. He's an asshole. I can see it in his photo. He has banned Immigrations and Customs Enforcement and Border Patrol from making arrests at Chicago courthouses of illegal aliens. You know what's funny? He can't do that. He cannot ban federal officers from performing their sworn duties, acting on legal, lawful orders to arrest these people. He can't stop them. Now, what's funny is judges think they're fucking gods. They are assholes who wear black dresses and probably wear fishnet stockings underneath. I don't have a whole lot of respect for a lot of these judges, though I have met several judges in my life who are good guys. And I've also run into a couple that are giant fucking assholes. Arrogant, snobby, know-it-all assholes. Now, having said that, ICE can make arrests outside a courthouse, on the courthouse steps. The judges don't own the building. They're public fucking servants. They're entitled to have law enforcement protection. That's called the bailiff. It's provided by either the local police or a sheriff's deputy, depending if it's a county courthouse or a city, whatever. That's how fucking arrogant these people are, folks. Right? You want to talk about civil war, partisan war coming? Judges, my friends, judges are part of the problem. In fact, another Illinois activist bullshit judge has told ICE, Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, that it has to take down its security fencing, which is in place to help protect a federal facility. And then this stupid bitch of a communist judge has ordered Immigrations and Customs Enforcement to donate their salaries to illegals. Wait, I think I might be joking about that. Oh, wait, but then she orders them to work in massage parlors and give happy endings to terrorists and drug dealers. Who the fuck do these judges think they are? You can't do your job. You can't be on public property and do your job. You have to give away your money, and then you have to give hand jobs to fucking illegal drug dealers. That's how fucking stupid they are. Don't worry. It is going to get worse. It's going to get worse before it gets better. It truly is, folks. It truly is. And we're going to go with this. Oh, James Nicholson says, "Hey, John, I have to hold it right here. We're reading this for the purposes of education, not as instructions, advice, orders, or anything else. But a lot of people are saying that judges need to be introduced to street justice." Now, the way I read James Nicholson's comment here is that street justice is justice from Antifa, the group that's just an idea, that's not an organization. You see, that's what Antifa says they're doing, is they're on the street dispensing their justice. Maybe these judges that love Antifa, love BLM, love LGBT pedophile violent people, if you love them, maybe they should be introduced out on the street to these groups. That's how I read James Nicholson's comments here. We do not promote violence, unlawful, dangerous behavior. I don't give orders. No siree. No siree. Right? But yeah, they should go outside and introduce themselves and learn what street justice is all about. Now, I'm going to follow that up with a nice little story. Thank you, James. Always be careful. Oh, of course. And James writes, "Hey, thank you for your clarification. Of course, man. I want to make sure no one sees anything we write here as dangerous or promoting violence. Oh, no, we don't do that. You can go right out on the street and get your ass kicked around and beaten with a fucking bat by Antifa, because that's their idea of street justice. I think judges should go see it firsthand and witness it so they can understand." In any event, you're welcome, James, and thank you for the satire and the educational and instructive moment. Now, I don't want anyone to do anything harmful or mean, folks, literally. Defend yourselves and others if needed, but politicians, they need some clarification on what justice is, because apparently the Constitution, common law, hundreds of years of history haven't served them well enough. Now, I'm going to say this, and I mean this in all honesty. Sadly, some veterans of our military are communists. But don't worry, like all communists, they are extremely stupid. But as veterans, they're also dangerous. A completely unhinged Army veteran. This veteran fantasized about looting the dead bodies, looting ICE agents who have been killed. And this unhinged communist Democrat veteran said, quote, "A good cop is a dead cop," end quote. Fortunately, this dumb fuck was arrested in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and reportedly the police found a rifle in his car. Thankfully, they arrested this left-wing Democrat, anti-American, fucked up communist before he could hurt anyone. And isn't it interesting that that we continue to see violence coming out of these dangerous Democrats? And folks, they're dangerous nutcases. Joshua writes, "Battery low. We're out. Have a great day." You're welcome. My batteries are low too. Yep, there was James again, folks. Oh, here we go. Mikey G says the bobblehead, the bobblehead's machine gun should be an M134 minigun. I mean, we should have I'm partial to the sawed-off M60 that was featured in Predator. That particular weapon was handled by Bill Duke. Watch that movie, folks. Predator from like 1987, was it? They had some of the coolest fucking weapons that still hold up and look cool as fuck today. From the rotary rocket launcher, MG42, says Driving Frog, right? From that to MP9s, MP5s, which are 9mm. Of course, the M16 with a grenade launcher underneath. Gatling gun. Let's see what else. A sawed-off M60. Fucking minigun with backpack ammunition. What else did we have in that? Oh, another M16 with a fucking shotgun mounted under the barrel. That was carried by Sonny Landham. Let's see. Carl Weathers had the MP5s. Yeah, Bill Duke. Let's see. Jesse Ventura. That dude. The other guy got killed pretty early. Anyways, great fucking cool weapons in that movie. Anyways, that'll take care of it. Yes, here we go. Mikey G says, Jesse the Body had the M134 minigun. Folks, that thing fires 5,000 rounds a minute. This is where we're going. This is what happens when Jolene and Uman aren't here. He says, John, why can't the dog come with different guns? Okay, look, we'll sell the bobblehead, and then we'll sell the different guns. Some parts sold separately. I remember that as a kid. You wanted to buy this action figure, Star Wars. It didn't always have the right gun. Yeah, you should be able to get all these different guns as an attachment. What is this? Yeah, interchangeable. What is this, a fucking Kenner commercial? Didn't Kenner do the little action figures for Star Wars? Or is it Mattel? Fuck, I don't know. But what I do know is this has been a very, very, very fun Prepared Mind broadcast. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and we'll see whether I make it for Zero Dark 30. I've got family coming to Florida. I've got a lot of family coming to Florida from as far away as California, as far north as the Canadian border, as far south. And I consider a lot of people family who aren't blood related, but we got a lot of family coming here, Uman included. So we'll see how I do in the morning. Family showing up. Could get wild. Chance favors the prepared mind. You guys be cool. Thank you for having open minds, open hearts, for supporting this channel the way you do. I want to thank everybody, by the way, who sends Venmo, Cash App, PayPal donations throughout the week. Thank you guys as well. We need all the support we can get since YouTube is continuing to punish the shit out of us. And everyone else who has a message of freedom, liberty, unity, tolerance, and love for the American way of life and our Constitution. And they don't like it. God bless. Semper Fi. See you tomorrow.